Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're calling from. We're going to give everybody a few seconds to drop in. We got a lot of people still logging in, so we're going to start in the next couple of minutes, and we will just launch these polls right now. We got a few quick polls for everybody, so we're looking for some feedback, and then we'll be handing it over. So let's just get these going. Vote early, vote often. All right, so about 2/3 attended last week's session, so we're going to close that poll, and we'll do our next one. All right, so pretty, about 50% so far, 57, we're moving up a bit. Just over 50% of you are currently using Neo or Pro for your current hardwired installs. That's awesome. You know, while we're doing this, if you want to, familiarize yourself with the chat, you can drop in where you're calling from. That would be great as well. We're going to close that poll. We'd love to see, hear from you, where you're calling from. Is you working from home? Is it nice and warm or cold where you're calling from? All right, so roughly 40%, just over 40% of people are using hardwired devices in residential. That's interesting. 35% for commercial. So I would have expected commercial to be a little higher, but that's great. All right, I think we got 2 more quick polls. There we go. There we go. Just over 50% of you have voted right now, and 2/3 are using PowerG, and then about 20% using 319 or S-Line, and a couple percent for 345, and a very small number for 433. Interesting. All right, and then I guess this will be an easy one. What percent of your wireless devices are PowerG? So obviously, just pick whatever's closest to what you're using. Interesting. Very even split between all 4. All right. Well, thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to hand this off to Pierre and Jonathan. I think we've got one person calling in for. So Jonathan's down in Alabama, and Pierre's up in our beautiful Quebec, Canada. So guys, it's all over to you. Good luck.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you so much. So let's get to it. The Neo Top 10 Tech Support Questions.
All right, let's start with number 10, which is kind of an easy one though. So we get this question kind of often, Pierre or Jonathan, are PowerSeries panels compatible with Neo and all the modules? Can we kind of mix and match them? Well, the answer is kind of no. PowerSeries line is not compatible with the Neo. So what you know about the 1616, 1832s, and 1864, what you're kind of used to the green modules, I would say, will not fit on the Neo. But there's an easy way to kind of visualize that with the color of the main PC boards. On the old PowerSeries line, you have the green boards, and then with Neo, they're all blue. So it's kind of an easy way to kind of visualize that if you do like service calls or anything like that. even the blue screen on the keypad is kind of different. So that's an easy way to pinpoint which one are which.
And that's going to lead us into question number 9 right here. Each modules can be enrolled through 902. So once you first power up the Neo system, the keypad is going to say press any button to enroll that keypad, and that will be keypad number 1. So once you find the any key and press it, you can then get into programming, which of course is *8, your installer code. You go to 902 and you can do what's known as an auto enroll and enroll all those devices that you've wired up to our core bus on the panel itself. And if you need to, we can actually go in under 902 and maneuver keypads or zone input expanders, zone out input expanders around under this edit slot location with 902.
Thanks, Jonathan. Question number 8. It goes along with what Jonathan just mentioned. So again, techs that are kind of used to the PowerSeries line, where you power up and you get all the modules enrolled automatically within a minute. So with the Neo, you do have to enroll like input zone modules like the HSM 2108. So yes, you do have to enroll all the modules once you enroll your first keypad. So that's one of the questions we have many times.
Saying it kindly of many times there, Pierre.
Well, you gotta remember that I'm not a fluent English guy.
And I'm the Southern English guy. So that's going to lead us on to question number 7.
Hey, Jonathan, this is Joel. I hate to interrupt there, but we had a question come in regards to question number 10, actually, as to the compatibility. The question was, why aren't the PowerSeries modules compatible? And I can take that if you guys don't have that.
I'll be happy to take it. So the reason it's not compatible is from PowerSeries. We had our data bus on PowerSeries, but when we decided to move over to the Neo is actually an updated data bus, and we call it actually a core bus, and it's actually 128-bit encrypted, unlike the PowerSeries. So if you just throw something on the data bus itself for the Neo system, it's not going to actually enroll until you go to a 902, and every device that's actually on that core bus actually has a serial number associated with it. So it has to actually enroll that serial number, and again, it is an encrypted data bus. Is that a good answer?
That's fantastic. Thank you.
That was really good, Jonathan.
All right, so since we're all talking about the data bus, and I'm really glad you brought that question in, Joel. Thanks to whoever asked it. Can we edit those slot numbers? And I actually did give this away because I got so excited about doing this presentation that we can actually go into 902 and actually edit and maneuver those around. And if you'd like to, we can actually show you that right here. Just give me 1 second here to bring this up. So here, I've actually got a Neo system up and running here. If we do *8, and of course the installer code, which I've left mine at default, which is 5555. We come up here, solid lock light for our section number, and we can actually now navigate to 902. Auto enroll, which I've actually already enrolled my devices. So if I come over here, I can do slot assignment, but if I move over one, I can edit those slot assignments itself. So if I press the star button, I can now move my keypad if I want to, from 1 to 2. And let's just say I did an auto enroll and I hardwired up a system, right? Well, maybe hardwired up system, I did an auto enroll and my input modules didn't come in the order that I needed them to. What I can do is I can confirm under 903, I can come into 902, and I can now, based on those serial numbers or that flashing light under 903, I can now edit that and get those input modules to be exactly where I want them to be. So I don't need to rewire or continually actually add a module and enroll it and wire up another module and enroll it. And I can actually do that all in software, which is going to save you a ton of time out on the job site. So it's one of those cool things. It's a nice feature that we actually do have in the Neo system to help you out on that install. Just wanted to show everybody that.
Well, and it gives you the your group of 8 zones, like your expander number 1 would give you the group of zone from 9 to 16, and the HSM 2108, that's just on slot number 2, will give you your group of zone 17 to 24, and so on. So if you go all the way up to a HSM or like a Neo 2128 panel, it goes all the way to slot number 15 for zones from 121 to 128.
There you go.
Hey guys,
Question number 6.
And thanks to Dan Johnson, I'm actually going to drop a link to a document we have that supports what you guys just shown here in the chat. So that way everyone can pull the document based on that module slot assignment. So thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Joel. That's awesome.
Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Joel. So it brings us to question number 6. Why can I add a duress code to a new panel? So duress code, what's one thing different from the PowerSeries is that you have to go into programming and enable the duress code functionality. And we kind of put the section number in regards to what has to be enabled. So section number 19, option 6, then it enables the duress functionality in the panel. And once this is done, you can actually, when you program your user code into the star5 section, this is where you can give a duress attribute to any of the user in the panel itself. So this is also one of the questions we have many times, we say.
I'm about to say, because that is turned off by default. So you do actually have to go into that.
It is turned off by default. You're right.
So that's one of those things. We can show this if you want to, Pierre. It's up to you.
Well, if we have time at the end, if you want to browse in your keypad, so this is something we could do, yeah.
Okay. And that's going to lead us on to question number 5. We're already halfway through the presentation here. Question 5. After powering the control panel down and back up, I get this trouble light on my keypad, and if I hit *2 and scroll into it, it actually says not networked. And what that means is the panel knows it has all these wireless devices out there, but it currently can't see them. So what's going on is, since our PowerG devices are encrypted and we actually do have multiple channels that we can transmit into, the panel and the contacts kind of need to go back through that. I would like to call it like a beginning of the communication cycle of, hey, where are you? Where am I? And let's start, because like a good example of that is Pierre is up in Quebec and I'm down here in Alabama. So when we first started on this, we kind of had to say hello and kind of get on the same page to be able to do a presentation. And that's exactly what needs to happen for the panel and those wireless devices. And what will happen is these devices will automatically roll back into the system if it's known as there. If you want to speed up the process, you can actually open up that device and tamper it, and you'll get those not networks to clear a lot faster that way. Any questions about that, Joel?
No, but we did have one about the duress code. Can the duress authentication and duress code be added remotely?
Through DLS, you mean?
Remotely, so DLS, alarm.com, maybe.
Yep. It could be well, it's in the programming and the user code. Yeah, it could be done.
Awesome, thank you.
Question number 4. This one, I'm pretty sure we're going to have something from Dan Johnson to be in the handouts. Actually, one of your snaps from one of your document, Daniel. So, how to add a zone or activate a PGM on the keypad, on the Neo keypad. So again, like we had on PowerSeries, yes, we can actually use the 5th terminal of the keypad and use it to connect a burglar zones to it. So as you see on the diagrams right there, so you get your car bus connection, red, black, yellow, and green. Then you get the 5th terminal, which is marked as P/Z. So by default, it is used to connect a zone. So like the image we have over there, so it could just be like a door contact with the end-of-line resistor 5.6K over there. But it could be either or. So it could be a zone input, but it could as well be a PGM output, a programmable output, where you could connect like a 12-volt relay out to it, which is all our PGMs are limited to 50 milliamp. So that would be, and I kind of put the programming options right below. In the keypad programming, you have like subsections. So those subsections, like subsection 11, this is where you assign the zone number, the PGM number in there. Again, in the keypad programming, subsection 23, you have like different options. So option number 3 would be where you pick either zone input or PGM. Again, just to remind you, that's going to be a zone input by default. And then section 23. So that's a good one to know. We have a thermistor in all our keypad built in on the PC board that we can enable and kind of use that as a low temp sensor, which will kind of, once it's defined to a specific zone with low temp definition or type, you can use that to monitor the temperature of the room itself. So just to facilitate the programming, I put the options over there, programming options, and that's a really nice feature. So just remember, it's either or, so you can have like all 3 of them, all 2 of them. It's either input, PGM, or low temp sensor.
Hey, Pierre, Jonathan, we got a question from the audience. What temp is considered a low temp alert when you're using the keypad low temp? So what's the threshold?
It's 6 degrees Celsius, and it will restore at 8 degrees Celsius by default. And it's not adjustable, it's hard coded.
6 degrees Celsius. Somebody's got to do the math for me on that.
Friend Jonathan, it's not in Fahrenheit. Sorry about that.
42 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you.
Hey guys,
It's like 6 degrees.
This is Joel here. I did want to point one thing out. The diagram that's being shown is how it would be wired for a zone configuration. If it were going to be wired for use as a PGM, instead of wiring to the black terminal, you would wire to the red terminal. So just an FYI. Yep.
That's going to bring us to question number 3 on today's top 10 chart. How to reset the PG99, 16, 26, or 36 PowerG smoke detectors. You must enter a valid user code to silence the alarm, and then you need to go through an disarming cycle to reset the memory out of the panel. You want to be sure that the red light on your PG9936 is not flashing. It should blink green every 60 seconds. And this is one of those things where sometimes I do get some calls of, hey, the sensor is blinking. What does that mean? So first, I need more information from a technician that's out there in the field actually contacting us, because those blinking LED actually gives us a lot of information of what's actually going on with the smoke detector. So the PG9936, you can see here from this chart, will actually show you exactly what is going on with that smoke detector. So I just have somebody that says, hey, this thing's blinking. It's like, well, yeah, there's 3 different colors of lights, and what's that blinking pattern? And that will help narrow down exactly what's going on with that smoke detector. So if you have a low battery, you're actually going to get that yellow flash every 12 seconds, for instance. And that's one that you can see. Maybe you've got your smoke detector and maybe you've been doing some construction work or something like that. So it's very possibility that you're probably going to have some dirt in that detector chamber. So it's actually going to flash yellow, but it's going to be every 8 seconds. So there's going to be a 4-second differentiate between that low battery and a dirty detector to kind of tell you exactly what's going on with that detector. Any questions leading around the detectors themselves?
We have one from Kevin in Canada as well. What is the best way for a client to test the smoke alarm?
Ooh, this is a. Oh, go ahead, Pierre, if you want it. He's from Canada.
So if I heard well, Neil, it was to clean the smoke sensor?
To test the smoke. What is the best way for a client to test the smoke detector?
Well, we have a test button on this unit here that you can use. There's some, we call that can of smoke also, that you can use. If so, I would recommend, well, one of the tips about the can smoke is don't get too close to the smoke sensor itself. Don't throw too many out of it, so it doesn't kind of get the chamber kind of sticky. So and you get more problems. So usually a good practice would be to be about like 3 to 4 feet away from the smoke if you want to use this can smoke, or just use the test button on the unit itself.
Because now if you press and hold the test button, you can actually send a test signal all the way through to your central station.
Yeah.
So Pierre, just to clarify, burning bacon is not the best way to test these smoke detectors? No? It's always
Well,
test mine.
If it's Canadian bacon or?
Could be.
So we just wanted to clarify, you know, for end users, clients testing their smokes. Thanks, Dan. Make sure they're phoning their station and putting it on test first.
Of course, of course. Yeah, let's have some fun.
That is awesome.
You want to go to the next one, Jonathan? Question number 2. Well, this one we have more and more kind of question. Can I upgrade the panel and keypad of a Neo system? Of course, we can, yes. There's a couple of ways to do it. Using the DLS5 software, we have what we call a flash wizard in there. So you can use the DLS5. You can actually locally flash the panel using the flash wizard. That was hard to put everything into one slide, but just to quickly explain. So the flash wizard from step to step will explain how to do it. And we have an FTP site where you can actually retrieve the flash files and go along. So locally, this is how you would do it. If you do it remotely, still with the DLS5 software, you'll have an indication that there's some files available. Again, there's a way to retrieve the files from the site and either flash the panel either from IP or cell. And just to give you a hint on this one, if you do it like remotely, somebody has to enable or authorize the firmware upgrade at the keypad to finish or complete the whole process. You can also, so yeah, that was the first option. The second option would be through alarm.com. There's also a process and how to upgrade firmware from the alarm.com partner portal. So I kind of have two screenshots over there. So one with the DLS5, and the other one would have been from the partner alarm.com partner portal. So all the times can help you out with the how to do it. Like it's a little bit of a training, but it's doable, no problems.
Nicely said.
Next.
And that's going to bring us down to question number 1, the question that we get asked the most. And, you know, I wish I had like a little drum roll sound here. And as if anybody has any idea, it is, how do I turn on the external input on a PG9945? So the biggest way to do this is, first of all, you got to have the contact learned into the system. That's step 1. And it's really funny that the last phone call I took before coming on this presentation was this exact question. So after you enroll the device itself, you can go back into 804, type in the 3-digit zone number of the zone you learned in, which will be the PG9945 zone that you want. For instance, maybe we want to use like a garage door style contact. That's going to be hardwired into the PG9945. So we're going to get down into the, you go to that zone number itself. It's going to say, oh geez, I don't remember even what it says, but I'm going to cheat here, and we'll just go through it together.
While you're doing that, Jonathan, So this is only for the 9945? Would it work on the 9309 or the
It would
9312?
work on the 9309. It would also work on the outdoor contact, which I can't remember the part number for it off the top of my head.
The 9312?
9312.
Yeah, see, that one always gets me. I'm gonna make this one. I'm just going to make this one be 5 real quick, just simply because I won't have to go scroll up some more to find it. So here's 005 device toggles is what I could not remember. You hit the star button here to enter. We want to leave the alarm LED. We can leave that on. We can turn this read switch is currently on. I want to turn that off, so I'm going to press the star button, change that to a no. And then I'm going to come over here, auxiliary input, hit the star button to change that to a yes. Press the pound button there. Somebody didn't log out of their email. Not going to name names on that one. Zone ELL, like how do we want to look out after this contact? Well, right now, one of us can't find the magnet that goes with this. So I'm going to let everybody kind of make fun of me there. I've lost my magnet, so I'm going to make this be normally open. Press the star button there. And now I can get out of programming. And this contact, once I get the cover and satisfy the tamper, it'll show ready because it's going to go over zone number 5 once the tamper condition is met. Let me go back to the previous screen, and now it will make a little bit more sense of those attributes based on this wireless device. So it could be single in line, normally closed, normally open. And you can also, I get this question quite often too, is can I use the read switch and that external input on the same zone? And the answer is yes, you sure can.
Hold on. On the same zone or the same device?
On the same device, which would be the same zone number.
Yep.
I didn't confuse you with my Alabama thinking, did I, Neil?
You sure did.
One thing I'd like to point out is if you're using an end-of-line resistor with that specific 9945, it's a 47K, so it's a specific one that comes with the unit. So it's not our usual 5.6K resistor that's come with it. So just want to point that out.
All right, Pierre, since I've got you, what is the max cable distance you can use on that auxiliary input in the metric system?
Okay, if I say like 3 meters, am I good?
You are good. And for those that are bad doing the conversion, that's roughly going to be less than 30 feet is what it's going to be. So
Yeah.
So questions? Did we just do
we
an
have
outstanding
any
job?
question in the background, Joel or Neil?
You guys have been doing a great job answering most of the questions as we go through. We've been answering all the ones that aren't necessarily pertaining to what's going on here. So no,
Okay.
very good so far.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great. I do have real quick, if I want to, I can show what my main man Pierre was talking about here. So if we come right here, you can see here's the back of the keypad, and you can see I've actually got that extra zone down here for wiring on the data bus itself. And I accidentally hit the touchscreen there. So there's the extra zone that we can wire in, either a zone input or that PGM output is going to be associated right there. So I just kind of want to show people where that was on the keypad itself.
Hey, Jonathan, is that fit terminal also on the touchscreen keypads?
Let's just take a look here and see. There is an auxiliary input on the touchscreen itself.
All right, well, we got no other questions. So thanks, everybody. And good job, guys. And we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe,
everyone.
everyone.